May is actually Military Appreciation Month, and leading up to the Memorial Day weekend, we want to honor all those who've actually come home for off duty, in fact, serving our country.
On behalf of your squadron commander, welcome home. You have much to be proud of. An awesome deployment that yielded phenomenal results. Red Devils made history this year, and I was proud to serve along with you and have the privilege of being your squadron sergeant major. Enjoy well-deserved time off. Everybody knows and understands their report time to return. Red Devils, dismissed!
And as we honor those whom have and continue to serve our country, now is also a good time to recognize their spouses because they take care of everything back home. And when those homecomings happen, you know, it's so exciting for everyone, but it is still stressful because those emotional hardships happen on both ends. And as days turn into months, of course, it can certainly be difficult on a relationship. So this morning, we're joined by a relationship expert, Lieberman-Wang, who's here to share some tips. Lisa, welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. It's a really important topic for a lot of our military friends, families, and everybody around it, not just one.
I couldn't agree more, especially because I happened to go to this military Mom's Day brunch recently, and it was all about that sacrifice that the spouses, you know, do with the men, but also the men are coming back and they need some support as well. So talk to us about sort of the social support that you say that both can give to each other.
Well, you know, it's important to understand that everybody had a role reversal. Like, it's what they normally were used to. Their routines got changed. The people away in military, they're dealing with a whole different culture. A lot of men, a lot of, you know, not as many women. Structure that's very different. They're on edge all the time, kind of like that fight and flight, right? They're over there dealing with that. And then you have the women at home, if it's a woman or the other family members that are taking on new roles. And before you know it, the woman's becoming the husband and the wife and the family, taking care of the bills and everything else that come with it, having to put out the fires that maybe what somebody else might have done. And the structures just get kind of reversed and upheavals, and we have to help give them structure.
I think no matter if it's a military family or any type of relationship, communication is so key, and a big thing of communication is being a good listener.
Absolutely. You know, being a good listener works in a lot of ways. A lot of time when someone's away, the first thing you want to know is, what did you go through? What was it like? Because as a woman, I want to tell my man everything, right? But a lot of men come home and they don't want to say anything, and if it was the woman wants to just get more information. In the same token, the men aren't going to be the ones going to ask the women how did they deal with it, because they're thinking they went through and had a whole war on their own, which is true, but the communication has to work both ways. And that's really a challenge for most people, because there has to be a lot of rules put into place that you're not used to. You're coming home and all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, I want to share everything. And maybe your spouse is sharing all the stuff they're going through, but you want to share yours. And it's a challenge because you're not ready to listen, because everybody thinks the pain or the stuff, the sacrifices they made are the big ones, right?
So how do you rebuild that trust and that safety so that you feel like you can talk and you can listen and do that give and take?
Well, I think the first thing is to let each other know that you're there for the long haul, that you love each other, you're supporting each other, that it's not like, okay, this is over. This is like, well, we're going to find a way to make it work. Create a secure and safety net for everybody. So you kind of find your new ground, find out what will work, communicate with each other, find out, you know, some kind of routine that will work for each other. Maybe it's getting into chores or having a daily ritual or something, whether it be having your meals together and making sure there's some kind of normalcy that shows up again.
Right, a different routine than what you're used to separately, of course.
Yes.
And also anticipate triggers that might happen.
Oh my God, the triggers are so big, because some people will come home and, you know, a trigger is a situation, people, place, situation, things that cause a flashback, something that just will put off a fuse and you don't know what's going to come, and it works both ways. You know, you have your home, you're used to your routines, and the person comes home and they're used to theirs, and all of a sudden you're in each other's way.
Now, just because we're running out of time, how do you deal with anger if that comes up? Because, of course, that's kind of one thing leads to the next.
Yeah. If anger comes up, you need to give people a place. Let's not confuse behavior with the individual and separate that from the personality. They're doing anger, they're dealing with stuff, and you need just to give them the space to do it. Find support groups for them so they can deal with it, and you need to get support groups as well so that you have a voice and you can be heard and you have some kind of a support system that you can go to when things are up upheaval, right?
And I heard that there are really great support systems too, you know, as far as like the military wives kind of coming together, and that's going back to that brunch that I had. You know, they said that it's like a sisterhood. It's incredible, you know, and of course the guys or the gals who are out there fighting for our country have their own brotherhood and own sisterhood out there too. So it's about having those relationships and then coming back, I think, and being strong together, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
And taking care of yourself, of course.
Taking care of yourself, taking care of each other.
Great. Thanks so much, Lisa, for coming in. This is such a timely topic, but of course it's for, you know, all year long. So again, thanks so much for coming in.